farm transformation today. So this is how we're looking at things. We have peanuts in here, carrots in here, onions, shallots, leeks all the way down that way. A few spots of kale, some collards and some kale down there. So okra on this side, onions, and then we have this open area here. This open area being a grass thoroughfare. So what we've done is we've taken out shallots in this area, and the soil is got a lot of different things happening in it. The good thing is that the fungal farmers, the ants, are out in this area, so there's mycelium being grown and harvested and distributed. And so then there's a patch of onions here, and here we have some collards and more collards, and then some kale down there, and then an empty patch that was leeks and now is grass. So what we're gonna do is in these blank areas here where the shallots used to be, is we'll plant winter squash, butternuts and acorn and candy roaster, and then we'll leave this onion patch and collard green patch. We'll deal with those. Then the kale, we'll leave that, and that next patch of grass back there, we will put in more winter squash, pumpkins, table queens, acorns, yeah, and they will fill up this area. They'll run out of this bed. We'll direct them into this corridor, this grass corridor, and in this grass corridor, we'll allow them to run and fruit. This will no longer be a driveway through the garden. But we have others on the other side of those tomatoes. Sorrel hibiscus, ashwagandha, molokia, peppers, eggplant, alfalfa, zinnia, tomatoes, peppers, beans. Identification. Eat what you can see. If you can't see it, I doubt you will ever eat it. Grow where you are. I market this Saturday, so what we have decided to do is take a look at what will come out. Look at this here. These onions are all right, right? Medium or anything. Yeah, man. Grow where you are. From onions and shallots to winter squash, butternuts and acorns, candy roasters and pumpkins, indigenous foods, indigenous soil. When farm soil starts to look like market garden, home garden soil, that's quantum agriculture. And this is the section that had the leeks in it. And this will be winter squash as well. We'll mound up some of the compost in mounds on here and plant the seedlings directly into those mounds, water them down, and wait for more rain that they say is in the forecast. We'll see. Did you see that? Look at God. All the green matter from the shallot and onion and brassica bed that we cleared to plant the winter squash down below, all that green matter goes here. Breaks down. miniature squash ready for transplant. It's predicted that by August we'll be seeing even more increase in food prices, based on the fact that we have certain amount of stockpile of grains and of different commodity crops that have been stockpiled over the years that the United States is now using up based on having embargoes and sanctions on other countries. And so we're seeing the prices rise consistently, but they are due to take a peak in August once many of these stockpiles have been depleted. What does that mean for those of us who are producing food? What does that mean for those of us who eat food? I think it's pretty obvious. And so as we see the financial markets at odds with those of us who actually produce things, producers and growers in the United States, it's going to become very clear once trade negotiations change and different countries start to form alliances that exclude America. It's going to become very clear that those of us who are producing local goods, local food, and local services, our position is going to change dramatically in our communities and in our societies. Who becomes the people that we turn towards, who becomes leadership, that's going to be the key. A lot of these systems have been continuing because the leadership is compromised. We have people who are in leadership who don't know how to do much as far as practical skills, and are also easily manipulated by perception, management, and corrupt investments. So for those of us who have stayed focused, remained committed, keep doing it. Pay attention to your seed supply and pay attention to your use of space and resources. We'll talk more about this on our Patreon page. Please, those of you who have not checked in and become a supporter of us on Patreon, the link is in the bio. Go right to Grow Where You Are on Patreon. Become a supporter anywhere above the $5 level, and you'll have access to plenty of video content and written content. Let's pass on the information and get comfortable with a new order of operations. Grow where you are.